Test 1 2. H Wolf 3 here for The Truth Hurts, and I've got with me none other than my partner in crime, none other than Roman Claude Rankin. Roman, how you doing, man?
Doing good. Doing good. Couple more days to the holiday. I'm gonna stuff my face with turkey and cranberry sauce and
Lord
all
have
the good.
mercy. Lord have mercy.
Other, other than that, everything's good.
Good. Yeah, we're not gonna get too much into that. We're gonna celebrate Thanksgiving, but we're gonna try to be not be hypocrites and be thankful every day. But I think we're going in a different direction. They want to do like lamb or something. To me, I'm not stressing about it. I'm like whatever. So we are here with a show that is very poignant, kind of on a serious tip. And we got to do it. We got no choice because this is a problem. And you're going to see why in a minute, but we're going to talk about the suicide demon and how to combat it. And we're going to be focusing in on uh, a couple of pro athletes. We were saying that pro sports is going to hell in a handbasket, but we didn't really. This is a bad situation. Now, in one case, it's an actual NFL player. In another case, it's a brother of a pro basketball player. And so we're going to first talk about this. Well, he's not with us anymore, but his name is uh, Marshawn Kneeland. Claude, had you ever heard of this man before this incident occurred?
Nope. Nope. No, 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 no.
All right. Well, apparently he was a defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys, and he scored on Monday Night Football a touchdown, his first touchdown, and it was a big deal, and he was really basking in the glow of that. And then all of a sudden, we hear that he took his life, and it's like, what happened? Well, we're gonna delve into that and see if we can make any sense of it. I know at the moment I really can't, but then on the other hand, there are certain clues. Now, pictured with him, put his picture up on the screen, Claude, is his girlfriend Catalina. Don't say it. Uh,
I'm not.
so I had to take down an episode for that. But anyway,
I apologize.
that's all right. People will never know now. But anyway, apparently what occurred, from the best we can gather, he was riding in his vehicle in Dallas, on the streets of Dallas. And apparently it was some type of traffic violation. I don't know if it was speeding or he blew a. And I don't want to misspeak. Don't shoot the messenger. But I don't know if he ran a stop sign. I don't. That part I'm not sure. But um, the police pursued him, and then I guess they broke off the chase, something to that effect. And at some point, he called his girlfriend, the one picture, and said, "Hey, they're after me. I can't go to prison. I can't go to jail." And apparently, he left his vehicle and took his life with a handgun. Now, it's like I had a when I first heard it, I had a hard time making sense of it. It's like, how do you go through all those levels of training from pee wee football to high school to, and I'm skipping probably a couple of steps, but all that.
I have,
I'm sorry, what, Claude?
I have a question. My
Yes,
question is,
Roman Claude Rankin.
uh,
Yes,
now you are a pro, wherever you are. Like I'm a pro hockey player. So what? But this is serious.
right. We're being
If
serious.
I'm being serious. Now, if you a pro, you got kids, other people looking up to you, and you doing something like this. What they making you look like now, or if anybody doing taking your life over something stupid. That's my question.
Well, those are good questions
We don't
because
know. I don't know if that was like taking you getting pulled over. I don't know what the situation was or not. But it was just stupid of taking your life over something that you can handle one way or another. No problem.
those are valid questions and valid points. Um, what I struggled with in terms of the understanding of it, how are you make it to the level of a pro NFL player where you have to have a lot of discipline, fortitude? You got to go through uh, college ball, you got to go through NFL combines. Have you ever seen those, by the way, Claude?
Yeah, I didn't get into it like that.
You really didn't care for your cup of tea, but it
Mm-hmm.
shows them working out, shows them how fast they are, different drills and things. I mean, I'm not that familiar with it, but I know the concept. But how do you go through all that? Then you're drafted, and apparently, you know, he was drafted high, uh, up the charts, and because I guess he was a starter, I believe. Uh, but how does that make you take your life? You know. Now, I have a few clues. Well, actually, they're major clues. His girlfriend, the one picture Catalina, said he had a history of mental illness. And the way society handles mental illness is they put you on drugs. Doctors and stuff is not really handled as a spiritual thing. It's handled as, or we can self-medicate these demons that are torturing you. They'll come out and say they're demons, but that's their solution. Now, am I kind of? You think I'm kind of in the neighborhood, Claude? Hello? We lost you, Claude. Can't hear you. Mm-mm. All right. Hello? All right, we lost Claude. I'm not sure what happened, but I'll be a trooper and keep going until we get a good connection back. Um, so that's how society handles it, but the society at large, the medical world, they also may send you to, if you have mental illness, may send you to a psychiatrist and things like that. But what can be a lot of times is happening, you're being tormented, and it could be like demonic activity. Um, and I'm not saying that was necessarily the case with Marshawn Kneeland, but if I was to try to theorize something, I would say that would be it. Claude, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
My what was the last thing you said? I heard it, but I didn't hear all
Well,
of
what I was saying was his girlfriend, Catalina,
it.
said that he had a history of mental illness. And
Yeah.
usually when somebody says are diagnosed with so-called mental illness, the way it's handled is, you're evaluated by a psychiatrist, and then they give you some type of clinical name like psychosis or psychotic or schizophrenic or whatever. And then they put you on drugs.
Yeah.
So I was just
So,
throwing out
so
there to you. Does that sound about right?
that's not about right. But then they gonna say that you're gonna be put on steroids. I'm not trying to make a joke out of it, but it seems like every time the doctors say something, they put you on medications, and it seems like, oh, well, he got this problem, so we're gonna put him on this, we're gonna put him on that, we're gonna put him on this, and we're gonna
True.
put him on that.
True.
And the last person we seen that was like that was the late Terry Bollea, aka the late Hulk Hogan. And I'm not saying that whatever he did, that was his thing. But I'm just saying that was him. But I'm just trying to put two and two together.
Well, yeah, like I said, we're trying to. Sometimes you're trying to make sense out of the senseless.
Yeah.
You're trying to understand how does somebody who make it to this phase in life. But here's another thing that the scriptures teach you is that only God can fill the void in you. A relationship with Him that we try to fill it with everything else: money, success, fame,
Yeah.
girlfriends, boyfriends, shut up, Henry. Shut up, shoe deals.
Yeah, be like Deion Sanders. Hey, I can only be me.
Right. Be yourself. In a positive way, that is. Sometimes some people claim they be themselves and they're a hot mess, but that's another story. So that was one clue. What his girlfriend said.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing was, and I can't remember if his girlfriend brought this up or somebody else in his family or a reporter did, was that his mother, Marshawn Kneeland's mother, I think a year earlier, had died of a drug overdose. And that hit him very hard. So some people on the surface might seem fine, but when something that devastating happens, now they're like a mess inside. They're very fragile. Um, and I want to stop there because I do not know. These people, by the way, they live, his family, I think, is from the Grand Rapids area. He went to, I think, Western Michigan University, so he has ties to near us.
Yeah.
Detroit, Michigan, yeah. He has ties in his state. So I don't want to get on here and misspeak because I do not know the Kneeland family. I didn't know the situation. This is all stuff we collectively, as the Truth Hurts, were just finding out about. And so our prayers and condolences to the family, because it's a devastating thing. Now, we're going to take our time on this one. Years earlier, this type of situation affected me personally because a family friend, a close family friend, son committed suicide, and he was an athlete. Amazingly, he was a football player and a basketball player, and I mean high level for on the high school level. He was projected to be NCAA level athlete, potential pro athlete. That's how good he was. And that was one of the most devastating things we went through, from a standpoint of you knowing someone and you're close to them, and then someone that they're close that's in, well, in this case, his son commit com- took his life, and it was. I mean, you talk about devastating, talk about hurt. I was there. I was there. I went to the funeral, and ironically, I passed by the school he went to just the other day, and I couldn't help but think about it, man. So this is one reason why we wanted to do this show, because this is something that has affected us personally. So we're going to get to what we believe is the root of it in a few. But before we get to that, unfortunately, we got to talk about someone else that is affected. Now, I've talked about Marshawn Kneeland and his family and some of the possible root causes. Then we also talked about the situation that a friend of mine, a close friend of mine, and his family went through, which of course affected me and my family. But here's one that a lot of people may not know about. Stand by. Make sure I don't blot you out. All right, this is none other than Duncan Robinson. I put his picture up, Claude. And he was formerly with the Miami Heat, and now he is a Detroit Piston, a shooting guard for Detroit Pistons. And I mean, he has been on fire.
He's on fire.
Are you done? Anyway, he has been lights out. Some people were critical of him when the season first started. But boy, today he had to end up eating crow and bats and all types of stuff, because this man caught fire. And the Pistons are now sitting at 13-2 after their best start since like the mid 2000s. And you said it's a miracle. But they are doing fantastic, and they look like they're going to get even stronger and better, because they're about to get back Uncle Tobias Harris, and none other than Jay Nivey. And they will be pretty much back to full strength. And they're a dangerous squad, and I think me and Claude had predicted them to win 50 this year, but they might shatter that. They may shatter that. Go ahead.
My thing is pass first round. We want pass first round.
We want to pass the first round, second round, we want conference finals. We want finals.
We want finals.
We want finals.
You know what? Mm-hmm. We don't want the San Antonio Blues 7 in San Antonio.
Right.
We want the whole.
Right, the whole enchilada. Now we have already talked about sports is rigged and all that, but the Pistons were missing their whole starting five except for Duncan, and they still beat up on everybody. So they have a fantastic squad. So let me get back on point on why we put him up. Well, Duncan had a brother named Eli, and sadly, just last year, he committed suicide. Now, he was diagnosed. Now, you didn't know about this, did you, Claude?
No, this is the first time we heard.
Yeah. This happened. So, Duncan has talked about it, and he said he was diagnosed with schizophrenia. Now, that's the so-called, quote-unquote, clinical diagnosis of what was troubling him. But apparently it really caught their family off guard, and it's a hurting thing. It's a hurting thing, and I guess he's trying to do some things, because Duncan Robinson already has like his own basketball camp, and he has a foundation. So I think he's going to add that element to it to help with the prevention of suicide, and as a tribute to his brother.
And that's nice.
I'm sorry, you said what again?
I said that's nice for for a person to do something like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you know when celebrities get that big head, they don't care about nothing but themselves.
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. But you know, God can use a celebrity, he can use a non-celebrity, he can use a bomb off on the street to do his will. So I'm glad Duncan is doing that. Um, that's a blessing. I know the young man I mentioned earlier that I knew personally. We did some things to try to, as a tribute to him, like some branding things. I'm not really involved in that anymore, but for a minute I was, you know, doing designs, and they ended up on shirts and hoodies, and they were supposed to go on shoes. I think that kind of, you know, kind of fizzled a little bit, but at least, you know, there was some effort done, you know, as a tribute. Um, but anyway, I don't want to go any further because for privacy purposes, I don't want to give, to lack of a better way to put it, too many clues and then be like, oh, he's talking about him. I don't want to do that. So, because I didn't get permission to, you know what I'm saying, from the parents to talk about him. So I don't want to go further with that. So, Duncan Robinson has been, and his family has been touched by it, but thousands of people have been touched by this. It's a horrible thing. So, many years ago, I'm gonna put you back up, Claude, in a moment. Stand by. Okay, I'm not Duncan Robinson. Okay. So years ago, um, recognizing this was a problem because I was working with teenagers for many years. I did a class called, I'm sorry, taught Sunday school at People's Community Church. Claude remembers that because we had a basketball team, and Claude helped me, was an assistant with the coaching.
I'll be nice.
Okay. I knew he was going to say something. Anyway, thank you for being nice. I appreciate that. So I teamed up with several entities: People's Community Church, EPAC Incorporated, Wayne County, and I did a film called I Know Just How You Feel. And this was a film about teenage suicide. And I have the film. I'm trying to see if there's anything here. You have to forgive me. I should have already cued this, but see if there's anything here that I would like to play back. All right, okay, I think I found something. All right, I'm gonna play a short clip back, and then we're gonna come back and talk about it. All right, stand by, y'all.
Mom, Ray, Julie, where am I?
She's conscious. Thank God. How are you, baby?
I feel woozy.
Sis, how could you do something so stupid? Do you realize how worried...
Ray, be quiet. Can't you show a little consideration for your sister for a moment?
Dear,
why didn't you tell us what happened between you and this Damon boy?
I didn't want to bother you.
Bother us? Tisha, I thought I told you you could always come to us when you needed help.
Us?
I mean me. Sorry, I was thinking about your father.
Yeah, if Dad were here, maybe none of this would have happened.
Ray, you don't know that. Your father probably would have made matters worse knowing him.
Hey, how do you know that?
Raymond, don't you talk back to me.
Mom, why you gotta be like that?
You better watch your mouth, young man.
Man, why don't y'all shut up? Just leave me alone.
Now look what you've done. You've upset her. Come on, boy. Julie, would you try to calm her down so she can go to sleep? Thanks. I'll be back once I deal with him.
Sure, Miss Whitney.
Okay. Did you hear that, Claude?
Yes, I heard that. That sound like kids. That sound like what the kids day to day.
Right.
We no back talk.
Right. back talking to mama.
Yeah.
I wrote this with the sole intention to help with the issue of teen suicide. So the basic plot of this, and this has been up on YouTube for many years. Matter of fact, I didn't know it's been up here this long. It's showing 12 years. So it doesn't exactly have a tremendous amount of views, but it's got, a couple of hundred views, which is good. If you save one life, that's saving a life. That's all that matters. So basically what the plot is, this young lady that was shown in the hospital bed had attempted suicide. So she was out of it, and then she just woke up, and then her family was there and a close friend. So they're trying to determine what drove her to this. And so that's why the dialogue you heard, that was part of that. So later in the film, the character, the main character, Letitia, has a dream, and she's in her mind. She's worn with a demon. Have you ever seen the cartoon Claw with a little angel and a demon on your shoulder?
Mm-hmm.
And there's it, like, go ahead, kick him in the behind. He won't do it. The little demon's telling that he'll never know who did it because he's gonna fall face first in the mud. And then the little angel's like, no, don't do that. That would be evil. You're better than that. So that was the kind of the concept I did. But her friend who was pictured who was named Julie was trying to say she needs to commit her life to Christ and forgive this young man because what drove her to it was her boyfriend dumped her, for lack of a better way to put it. What's another word, Claude? Jilted, scorned, being played. Thank you. What do they say nowadays? Played. Yeah. He played her.
Yeah, that's like a new version of, this is the new era is being played.
Being played.
Ain't nobody worth.
Nobody worth killing yourself over. Absolutely, I agree.
Get one life and shoot. That person you with ain't in it. You don't need to be stressing yourself out over.
Amen. We agree, and on that one, your life and our lives are given by God. He is the arbiter of life and death. That's a big word, arbiter. Basically, he's the master of life and death. When he say it's time to go, it's time to go. You're not supposed to take another life, and you definitely are not supposed to take your own. Because how do you stand before God and say, I took the life you gave me? That's a terrifying thing. Can you be forgiven for that? Don't answer that. I don't think you can personally, but the way the world is now, they took their lives. They're in heaven, and I don't think it works that way. So you have to really evaluate your situation and get on your knees, and this is my advice. Get on your knees, pray to God to help see you through it, give you endurance, whatever you're going through. Cast your cares on Him. Uh, trust in trust in the Lord, and lean not to your own understanding. Sometimes things are literally a misunderstanding between people. Not in the situation depicted in that film, but um, sometimes you may be about to take your life, and your salvation is literally right around the corner. Well, once you do it, it's too late. That makes sense. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with something because I can't quote scriptures no more. So I got to try to put this into words that hopefully will resonate with people. But Claude, have you, without getting too personal, have you ever dealt with anything similar to this with Marshawn, Kneeland, and Duncan Robinson, and what I said I went through?
You know, my accident. But other than that, nothing like that.
Well, you're blessed. You're blessed.
Nothing like that.
Yeah, yeah, you're very blessed. Claude went through an ordeal, and he wasn't giving up or nothing like that. He fought back. He went through an ordeal and wasn't like you know a quitter. So he can't really relate to anything like that, and that's a blessing. And I'm very fortunate too. That particular demon has never taken root in me, but I believe it is a demon from the devil himself that torments a person and gives them this feeling and belief that they have no hope. They have no hope, and the only way out of this is to end it all. And no, it just don't do it. Don't do it. And that's I guess that's really all else I can add. I will post a link. Well, you know what? I'll post the video to our Facebook page. And if everybody gets a chance, check it out. I know just how you feel. And if you know of anybody you feel could benefit from it, share it. The beauty of nowadays, back then we had VHS tapes.
Yeah, what is that?
Now people are like, "What the heck is that VHS?" And you had to distribute it that way. But now you can. Yeah, if there was one left open, which there is none, they want to wear the dinosaur. But so yeah, with just one link, take a look at that video, and hopefully it will be of an encouragement to somebody. Also, I recommend Truth of God. Truth of God, and be ready for some harsh preaching. Preaching with a lot of salt, no sugar, and help snap you out of it. Because you don't give up, don't quit. All right, and speaking of, and this is going to really make people feel ashamed. The next thing we're about to talk about, let's get ready to get into it. Anything else you want to add before we move on to the next one, Claude?
No.
Okay.
No. I ain't want to be rude when I said no like that.
No. I understand. All right, so we're going to move on, and we're going to a subject that's almost just as depressing, and that is the murder of Christians, and really is happening all over the world, but it's particularly brutal now in Africa. and notably Nigeria. Now, me and Claude have talked about this, as on the sidebar on several occasions because we know of Nigeria. We know Nigerians quite well, quite well, because many of them are table tennis buddies that we played with and coached us for years. And this thing that's happening is real. Now, here's where the Satan, very clever. Trump said he was going to, if they don't rein this violence, because it's been, I don't have the exact number right in front of me. I might look it up before we go off air. But I think it was 40,000 Christians have been murdered this year alone. I'm going to try to look it up before we talk. In Nigeria alone. But I'm going to try to look it up while we're online. But Donald Trump, and you know how polarizing he is.
So perfect.
Right now, his popularity is either on the mountaintop or in the toilet. I mean, he's very polarizing president. Some people despise him, and some people hate him, and some people think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm not going to. He is what he is. I know I didn't vote for him, and I'm gonna stop there. Both times.
I ain't gonna talk about it.
We're not gonna talk about it, but I give credit where credit's due. He said if they don't rein that violence in against these people, he may send troops over. And the quote was, "Guns are blazing." And so naturally, they politicized it and said, "Oh, he doesn't care nothing about them. He just want to go over there and get their gold and yada yada." And I've heard this from a lot of people. Now, channels like CBN have been, for many, many weeks, have been talking with people actually in Nigeria and correspondence. And this thing is not something Trump made up. This is really happening. And they have the pictures to back it up. The sad part is they can't really show the pictures without blurring a lot of stuff out, because you're talking about people who have been hacked to death with machetes, beheaded, shot, burned alive. And that's beyond heartbreaking. That's beyond cold. Your heart is like Antarctica. Your heart is full of ice now.
Ice cold.
Ice cold. Who was that character in WCW? Glacier. Your heart is like Glacier. So one of me and Claude know this man very, very well. He's our coach. One Nigerian that was our table tennis coach, both of us. I ran into him a couple of months ago. And he said, "Well, what do you know about Islam?" So I said, "Well, I don't think I know somewhat a little bit about it." He said, "Well, what do you know?" I said, "Well, I know you got good Muslims and bad," but I don't know how I worded it, but in so many words, you got Muslims that are radicals, the terrorists, and then you got some that are peaceful. He said, "You don't know nothing about Islam."
The way he said it.
The way he said it blew me away, because he didn't pull no punches, but he's always been that way. You know that. So he was like, "You don't know nothing about Islam. You don't know," in so many words, you don't know jack. He said that's in the Quran. If you leave it, or if you are not really for it, they have the right to kill you. And a lot of people just don't comprehend that. I know I didn't, but he said his daddy was a Muslim, raised from birth. And he's telling me, schooling me, telling me, this is why you're seeing what's going on. This is their, what did Hitler say, the final solution? When he started killing all the Jews, this is what, and it's accelerating. Now, if somebody want to come on here and debate me and say, "Oh, all Muslims are not like that. We're peaceful people," okay, you're more than welcome. But that's what this man told me, and he is a authentic Nigerian. He is from that. We know pretty much know his family. Yeah. So if anybody know what he's talking about, it's him. Once again, I don't have permission to mention his name. It starts with the first name starts with a Y.
Yes, and I'm not doing it.
Right, me neither. So, pardon me, rubbing my eyes. Apologize. So, anywho, this leads us to this. Let me put this picture up.
Ready?
Ready or not, folks? Here we go. This is one Nicki Minaj. Yes, that Nicki Minaj.
Can I say something?
What? Go ahead.
Now, I don't know a person.
Uh-huh.
She probably be she's standing up for something that's good, trying to standing up for what's right or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she's trying to do right now.
Well, we're gonna get into that. Yeah, this is unbelievable. So anyway, no, go ahead and what you were gonna say.
Oh, I just thought that. Oh, I said something off air, but I let that go.
Please, please restrain yourself. Anyway, so Nicki Minaj, she is a very interesting figure. She is definitely a quote unquote celebrity. She is a rapper, and she is from Trinidad. And she came to the U.S. and it's a very polarizing figure because she's like a Barbie doll. She got multiple personalities and all types of insanity. I personally do not listen to her because if anybody could say that somebody has schizophrenia, it could be her.
Whoever buy her CDs, that's going up.
Right. So I have nothing against her. I know it's but then on the other hand, in holiness, I can't follow nobody like that. And I'm not big into rap music anyway. But we want to get to the point. She came forward and said, "I want to speak on behalf to the United Nations." Because I think she lives in New York, and the United Nations is in New York. And said, "I want to speak on behalf of the Christians being murdered in Africa and around the world, particularly in Nigeria." Oh, and man, they jumped on her, the liberals, the libs, jumped on her and just said, "Oh, you a sellout, you a Donald, got Trump derangement syndrome and blah blah." And I'm like, I mean, that shows you how the world just hates the people who. How can I put this? People hate what is good. They don't want you standing for what's right. They want you to ignore it, or they want to politicize it and say, "Oh, she's down with Donald Trump. I don't know if she is or not, but at the end of the day, if she's speaking on behalf of people being butchered, hey, I commend her. I commend her because I don't see nobody other than a handful of people. I don't see nobody else speaking up for him with a platform. This woman got a platform probably in the hundreds of millions, or maybe I'm exaggerating, but I know it's up there. Am I right, Claude?
That's true.
Yeah. So I commend her. I don't. I'm not a fan of her music and her act, her spiel, but at all to say the least. But I give her credit where I give credit where credit's due. I'm sorry, and people don't like that. They want you to be you're supposed to hate Donald Trump. You ain't supposed to like nobody that sides with him. It's not even about siding with Donald Trump, about siding with God and God's people. Now, even in though the people being persecuted and murdered, I don't agree with all the religions they're in because I'm not a part of Christianity. I'm in holiness, and that's one true way. But in Christianity, you got Catholicism, you got Baptist, you got Methodist, you got Episcopalian, what do they call them? Episcopalian,
Yeah.
Pentecostal, and everybody believes something different. But in those religions, even though the doctrine is false and deviates from the Bible, there are good, sincere people, and they don't deserve to be destroyed like that. I don't believe they should. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't believe they should be destroyed like that because maybe they gotta open their understanding, and you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Everybody deserves a chance because I know I've been in falsehood, so for most of my life. So uh, it's a gradual process. So Nicki Minaj, getting back to Nicki Minaj, she went in front of the United Nations and made a very poignant speech. She's I know people find this hard to believe, but she's not a dummy.
He's very smart.
Yeah, she's not a dummy. Now her shtick is something else. I'm not with all that split personalities and I'm this and that and like Beyonce, I'm Sasha Fierce and I'm this and I'm not all that. But I give credit where credit's due. I remember Ray J and her were talking. Matter of fact, did we do it? I think we did a show on that. Do you remember that? She was on the video with Ray J.
Ray J did what?
I'm sorry, what?
No, I don't remember Ray J.
Maybe we didn't do it. I thought we did a show on that, but he was talking with her on Zoom or something and was talking all crazy and blaspheming. She said, "Don't blaspheme like that in front of me." I was like, "Huh?" She said, and she was because basically what he was trying to do, since his career basically is toast.
Yeah, just like his sister,
Right.
everybody else, all the
Brandy.
Brandy, we know his he was on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was on another show itself too.
Right. And he is really out there now. He just talk real crazy. And she was basically like, I don't think I want to invest in you, buddy, because you are really out there. So that let me know this woman got some sense. She wasn't like, oh, Ray J, yeah, you fit into the brand good, the Nicki Minaj brand, and you'll be. No, she wasn't like that at all. She was like, get away from me, because you talking cool, you talking cray cray, and And that really kind of was an eye opener for me. I was like, this lady not as
Dumb as she look.
dumb as
Well, I'm sorry.
she, Nikki. He said that, not me. I'm just joking. But so anyway, that's that. We wanted to bring awareness that this thing that's happening in Nigeria is really happening. This is not just because Trump recognized it is some hoax or something. No, people are really getting butchered, really getting tortured. Women are being raped and kidnapped. Children are being hacked to death. There's no way to put this in a sugarcoat this. And this is all a part of the whole jihadist mentality. And, you got a lot of people who, celebrities here that want to straddle the fence and they Christians one day and Muslims the next. And what was Steve Harvey, Chris Lime and all this nonsense.
What you making Steve Lime? It's just.
You said Steve Lime.
Yeah, my call it that.
Like, what type of insanity is this? And, so I already know what the score is. I already know what the score is. That you got a lot of them that are closet, well, let me rephrase that. Some of them are Muslims when it's convenient. Some of them are Christians when it's convenient. And then other times they of the devil. Most of the time they of the devil. They're Satanists. Because that's who their allegiance is to. But they want to put on an act, and okay, that's you're actors, so that's what you do best. But for this woman to break ranks, and Nicki Minaj that is, and take a stand, I'm impressed because that's not really how it's supposed to work. You're not supposed to do that. So she's breaking ranks. I give her props. I give her props. That's not easy in the business she's in. Oh, and that reminds me, I got to mention this before we sign off. It's not easy in the business she's in. Look at what's this thing called Wicked.
Oh, that's stupid movie.
Oh my Lord, that is just satanic, sick, crazy, and you got people buying that junk, taking their kids to see that.
I don't get it. It ain't Halloween.
This goes beyond just Halloween. This is just, I mean, that's a part of it. Don't get me wrong, but this is just insane to me. It's insane to me, and I know people. This is not a popular thing because people usually just go along to get along, and whatever is trending, they just jump on it. But to put a practicing witch out here and then promote what they call it, lesbianism or whatever they do.
Yeah,
Her and Ariana Grande and promote wickedness and try to flip it like it's good and all that stuff is insane to me. And Disney to me should be should be ashamed of themselves for doing some trash like that. They've caved into the what they call it, LBQTB plus mafia, and they're doing some stuff I just can't wrap my mind around. We were growing up. The thing was, we talked about this. What was it yesterday? That whole thing was derived from the Wizard of Oz, of course. You had what was it, Glinda the Good Witch, and then you had the Bad Witch. Now, first of all, know anything about the Bible? There ain't no such thing as no good or bad witch. It's all bad. But that's what was in the Wizard of Oz. So the good witch got defeated. I remember one of them got a house. The house fell on her.
I'm not gonna make no joke. I'm be good.
I mean, I'm just telling it like it TI is. That's in the movie Wizard of Oz. A house fell on one of them. And then the other one had a major attitude after that. She was like, I'm going to kill you. And then they finally killed her, threw up some water on her, and she melted. Now, I guess they've resurrected her in the form of this alien looking woman. And now the so-called quote unquote good witch played by Ariana Grande and her are now best buds. Running around. What they're doing, I don't know because I'm not watching nothing like that. But I'm sorry, what? Well, the new generation's brainwashed. They've been brainwashing the children since they was knee high to a grasshopper, as we used to say back in the day.
That was fun.
And they're brainwashing them from kindergarten, nursery school on, telling them that this junk is fine and it's not fine. Because at the end of the day, we need men and women to get together. That's what's going to reproduce the population. And I know that rub people the wrong way, and that's just too bad. But that's facts. That is facts. And so I'm going to push this like this is some type of new age love, and this is being wicked is wonderful. That is just downright evil. And the people who came up with that twisted that like that. I don't know how you look at yourselves in the mirror. That's all I got to say. You would add anything, Claude?
No, because it's sad. This is sad what this new generation become.
Yeah, I agree with you. And they've embraced that thing, and it's just terrible to me. It's just terrible, but I'm lone wolf, H wolf, howling in the dark, because the majority of people they just go along to get along. So, and it's sad, but everybody got to stand in judgment for this. That stuff not right, but no. So, ain't no sense of me saying nothing any further. But I had to throw that in there because that's what a lot of this is about. Christians are against that. So hey, if they get murdered, too bad. They shouldn't have been talking against us. That's the mentality. Now, is everybody like that? Of course not. Everybody's not wicked like that, and everybody's not wicked like that in the. Well, let me stop there. I'm gonna stop there because I'm on a roll and I want to keep it good. So that's pretty much it. Any other thing you want to talk about, Claude, or topics before we get going?
It's bad when you can't watch sports because it's sad for what they be. You can't watch sports no more because it's fake. You can't even watch the world baseball. Because they rigged the baseball now. They rigged basketball. Well, basketball. We doing good, so that don't matter right now. They rigging that.
Yeah, you're right. And to one degree or another, it's always been that way. But not to the extent it is now. But it's been that way in the NFL for a long time because NFL was the first one that really embrace the legalized gambling aspect of it. And that started with the fantasy football. Now, you could always bet on football through the bookies in Vegas and all that, and they had the odds makers and the point spreads. That's been there since probably day one. I'm not a historian on it because football's been around a long time, but uh, um, this thing with the all the other pro sports, with the gambling apps, and DraftKings, and I hate to mention them, but I'm gonna mention them anyway. MGM, BetMGM, Bet Rivers. Uh, did I mention DraftKings already?
Did we mention the Jamie Foxx one?
Yeah, Jamie Foxx is MGM, and the Kevin Hart one is and Big Whack Shack. That's DraftKings, I believe.
He needed please. I was trying not to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ruin this conversation. But yeah, anytime you have um all of that betting and gambling going on, you know that stuff is tightly controlled. We discussed that with what happened to Mr. Big Shot episode, previous episode. So you have to look at it. This is how I deal with it. This is how I've always dealt with it. I look at it as purely entertainment. And I had to even be careful with that because a lot of the things they push are ungodly. The gambling is one thing aspect that's terrible, but there are other things they push. The alcohol, uh, just a lot of the imagery. They got one dude on one team. That joker look like a serial killer or something. I don't know what. He just looks cray, super cray. Forgot the team. I forgot which team it was, but it's hard to look at this guy, man. This is NBA. This is NBA. And it was a time where, all those teams, they were well groomed. Pistons was one of the first teams that started it. I'm sorry, what?
You have to keep yourself well groomed for your self image.
Yeah, you had to, right, exactly. You had to be well groomed, haircut. They were wearing suits. The Pistons was one of the first teams that had their own private jet, and they looked at it. They wanted to present a good image. Now, somebody could argue, well, they didn't do a good image on the court. Well, we can't please everybody, but overall, but now they just let anything go, and they're betting, they're gambling, and they're flaunting it like it's no big deal. And then just to keep deceiving the people, occasionally they go throw somebody under the bus, like a player or somebody, just to make it seem like they're doing something. But let's keep it real. All that stuff is tightly controlled. So that's how I reconcile even looking at it. Look at it just like sports entertainment, like wrestling. I can't take that serious. They're not showing the heck ain't gonna gamble good hard earned money on it. I'm not gonna do it. But that's me speaking for myself. I was waiting for it. You got to get one in for the night. Say it one more time. It really is. So that's our take on it, folks. We're open for dissent, disagreement, but that's how we feel. So, Claude, great show.
Thank you.
Yep, appreciate it. And everybody keep those Nigerian and Christians all over the world. And not just even Christians. It could be some Muslims that are being persecuted. I know that was one thing that they said. Hey, it's not just Christians, it's Muslims. Hey, we ain't for nobody getting slaughtered and butchered like that for their beliefs. So that's for prayers for them,
Everybody.
for everybody who's being persecuted. And there's a big thing happening in Sudan, a genocide where millions of people have been displaced and people are getting slaughtered. And we didn't even talk about the wars in Russia and Ukraine. Now, Trump brokered a peace deal, I guess, with Israel and Palestinian, and they, you know, I don't know what to say. They did that. He's trying to broker a peace deal with Ukrainians and the Russians, but he's in such a polarizing figure. The media wanna everything he do is bad, and don't get me wrong, in some things he does we totally disagree with. But once again, if he really was behind, and it appears he was, the peace deal, give credit where credit's due. Because those are you talk about slaughtering one another. That Palestine Israel thing that's been going on since time immortal. So no, not immortal Hulk Hogan, but time immortal. So that's been going on for eons, millenniums. As Jacob and Esau seeds still fighting one another. That's a long time. So well, anyway, Claude, let's wrap it up here. Grab, great job. I should say grab job. Great job, and everybody keep these people in prayer, and us as well, and we'll do the same. Anyway, seek the truth, and search for it as hard as you can. But always remember, once you find it, the truth hurts. All right, everybody. God bless. Take care. Get a good night's sleep. We're out and peace.